Hi, everybody. Hi, it's me again, and I'm doing a Monster Monday. I was asked a while back to do like a monster I made, so I'm going to introduce you to some monsters for FrontierSpace. They originally, this one also we made. I made stats for it for Star Frontiers, and those are in one of the fan mags. But let's start with the story. Somewhere else out in space, two beings wander through the woods documenting life, one nearly hairless except for the hair on its head, and the other covered in fur, both outfitted for a day hiking and filming. Talon and Stella noticed a large number of small creatures drifting between the branches above them. The bushy tails oddly made them look like floating squirrels, but with shiny bodies except for their tails and mohawk manes on them. Talon and Stella decided they were no threat and continued walking through the alien jungle. Suddenly, without warning or provocation, rocks were dropping from above. Stella and Talon tried dodging the barrage in vain. Stella took a direct hit, collapsing. Talon managed to get his blaster out and began firing at the floating tree vermin. The Bladder Squirrel. This is for the rules that I used here were for FrontierSpace on these. Body points are 6, strength is 1, agility 40. I believe it's a personality, perception. Maybe that was it. 60. I have to go look. Initiative 1, moves by floating 4, jetting 10. Behavior, basic herbivore. Bite, 45% chance, 1/2 damage, die. Puff spine, 75%, 1 damage. Ballast drop, 20%, 1/2 damage per rock or branch, see below. Death splatter, 2D, 5-meter radius, agility check for 1/2 damage. This fascinating 15 centimeters long creature has a squirrel-like face, but with a prominent sagittal crest. It has a mouth of strong teeth designed for consuming vegetation. It has beady, round, glassy black eyes. These creatures have what appears to be a stiff, upright mane, which is made up of many, actually very thin, fine spines. Females have large such crests, while males have short crests. The rest of the fat body is covered in fine, almost fish-like scales, making it look deceptively unarmed. The bladder squirrel, however, can puff itself up, causing spines to expand all over its body that normally appear as dots on their bodies that make for a formidable defense weapon. If captured in the mouth or paws of a predator, this does 1d damage. While the body becomes very round, making it hard for the predators to put their mouth around. The tail of the bladder squirrel is covered in many fine spines similar to the ones on the head, giving it a bushy, hair-like look. The tail is also prehensile, and they can hang from it if they choose, or use it to carry items or latch around things. The bladder squirrel has a unique metabolism that produces hydrogen that it stores in a bladder, allowing it to float or fly without wings. The back of the creature has 3 natural vents from which excess hydrogen can be vented. The creature has 6 grasping legs that it uses, often using 2 pairs to grip rocks or branches as ballast. Each limb ends in a 3-clawed foot. Specimens have been observed to use the excess gas vented for limited jet propulsion. They will drop ballast to rise or vent gas to drop or jet between trees. They often appear to be slow-moving herbivores amongst the forest or jungle canopies they inhabit. However, once threatened, they will suddenly propel themselves at surprising speeds. When floating or climbing above in the trees, This creature only moves 4 meters per turn, but when emergency jetting, it can move up to 10 meters per turn. Bladder squirrel infested forests can pose a safety risk if the bladder squirrel drops ballast from above, 1/2 damage per rock that hits a target. Some xenozoologists claim bladder squirrel colonies have been observed to bomb threats in what appears to be a cooperative efforts to protect their nests. A nest usually contains 1D young animals. A small colony will have 2D adult animals. A medium-sized colony, 4D or dice adult animals, and a large colony, 6 dice adult animals die. If the bladder squirrel is threatened, they will drop 1 to 4 ballast rocks at the threat and rise higher to put distance between themselves and the beings below them. To determine how many ballast rocks are being dropped, multiply the colony size by 1 to 4, determined by rolling 1D, and then I give a bunch of mathematical examples. 1 to 3 equals 1, 3 to 6 equals 2, 7 to 9 equals 3, 10 equals 4. Example, 12 animals times 3 equals 36 rocks and branches. The females give live birth to 1D pups. Shooting bladder squirrels causes them to explode like a grenade, sending flaming bladder squirrels' spines shrapnel in all directions, doing 2D damage in the blast radius of 5 meters. Shooting a single bladder squirrel floating amongst a group of bladder squirrels can set off a very deadly chain reaction of exploding bladder squirrels. Special notes. Spines can be nothing but spines or poisonous, radioactive, acidic, infectious bacteria, viruses, or fungus, or pose other effects depending on the species of bladder squirrel. In addition, depending on the species, parts of it or all of it may be toxic to PC races. They may also be edible when properly prepared, or not toxic at all depending on the species. Creation and play history notes. I was inspired from the Ghostbusters cartoon, Brat, to create an even more alien creature. I originally developed this creature for play in my Star Frontiers game, where it's called the Bladder Rat, but I am now presenting it updated form to play for FrontierSpace. Special thanks to Tom Verot for his suggestions during the original creation process for the Bladder Rat. This critter has been updated to better reflect how I want it to be in FrontierSpace, which means some major changes to stats and the name change. FrontierSpace and the FrontierSpace logo are trademarks of DWD Studios and Bill Logan. This is actually posted on the net. You can find it. So that is one of the creatures, and where I got the idea from. I just happened to be watching a Saturday morning cartoon one day, the old one, probably with the kids, and I was like, floating, jetting rat thing. Wait, I can make an exploding, jetting, floating rat thing. I'm going to go tell my friends. And it just took off from there. And then poor Stella and Talon. They don't have a good time on the alien planet they're on. They do not. The next one that I will do, I'll do another one of these, will be the tiger squirrel, I think. Yeah, the tiger squirrel. And how they hunt and what they do. There's also the dire birds, but they're not like dire birds in a D&D. No, of course not. Everything on this planet wants to eat you. That's all you need to know. But or explodes, or is poisonous, or it's just not a fun place to be. But there is an example of something I saw that created an idea in my head, and then I made a monster and made it even more freaky and weird. So everybody have a great day. Happy Monster Monday. Peace.